I don't like to bring this stuff up either. Like, I have my opinions on it, but I usually leave it alone because people tend to get very moralistic around it. But I do think that there's a question there, which is like, well, if we all just quietly don't discuss this, are we doing the same thing that the character in the movie does, which is like, oh, don't tell me about it, you know? And it's
Yes,
like,
that is what's happening.
and so the
And that is
problem
what
is,
people do.
you have these laws, right? So when I was looking into slaughterhouse stuff, because I wanted to see, I was doing research, whatever. I knew that one of the problems of this situation with the slaughterhouses is that there's these laws that keep popping up called ag-gag laws that basically penalize people who take undercover footage of slaughterhouses. And while you can kind of understand the argument against not wanting undercover footage of your slaughterhouse, because it's always going to be an unsavory sight, right? It's always going to be something that the average person doesn't want to see. Even if it's a routine, well done slaughter, it's still going to be mass slaughter of animals. But these videos often show actual negligence or serious abuse or practices that shouldn't go on. Like, there shouldn't be people kicking chickens that are going to slaughter. There's no reason for that. There shouldn't be anyone purposely like electrocuting pigs when they're going to have their throat slit next. Like, that's the kind of unnecessary cruelty that these slaughterhouses seem to harbor. And that's why these laws pop up, though they've been stricken down quite a few times, and though there are a few that are still active, and they're struck down because of free speech. So this is actually one of those things that ends up being protected by free speech, which is your ability to document abuses. And the fact that the industry tries to cover up their slaughterhouses, to make sure that video can't be taken of it, kind of makes you feel a little weird about supporting those industries, because especially since it's food, there's something eerie about being told, no, you're not allowed to look into the way your food is made. It's like, well, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to eat it. So I would like to have that knowledge if there's something really egregious going on with the production of my food.
Yeah, it's not eerie. People should be, even if they're all about eating tons of beef or whatever, you ought to be suspicious when the producer of that good says, we'd rather you not see how we produce that good. Because if you think they'll look, if they're going to cover that up, and I understand why they would. I don't agree with it, but I get why they would, because they're a giant business. They don't fucking care.
They openly said it too. There was an industry, like an industry rep or something that had said these videos, when they come out, they hurt our businesses. And there was one situation where I think it was an egg supplier lost their contract with McDonald's and with some other big company, which is like, that's a major loss. And it was because a video came out that showed the hens like in just this horrible condition. Like, there were dead chickens in the cages with live chickens. There were chickens that had their organs hanging out from overlaying and not being cared for. Like, it's just abysmal. It's truly, by any definition, if I had that chicken in my house, if I was Leatherface and I had a chicken in a cage, one of them with their organs hanging out and the other one dead, I would be arrested for animal cruelty. Like, as an individual, if my neighbor saw that, they would report me. The local ASPCA would come and say, this is cruelty. So as an individual, if I enact that level of cruelty against an animal, I'm in trouble. Like, you're going to face punishment for that. But when it's done on a mass scale, you get to enact a law so that no one can look at the abuse. And, and we kind of turn the other way about it.